Hello, Jess here from All the Sparkle with a video showing how to create an easy night sky or galaxy background using Distress Inks and the adorable little Dreamer set from W+9. So let's get started. First I used my Misty to stamp the bunny and the star from W+9's Little Dreamers with Copic friendly ink. I didn't get a good impression the first time, but thanks to my Misty I was able to easily restamp it. Then I colored the images with Copic markers. I used E77 for the shading on my bunny, and E74 and E71 for the main body colors. I added a little pink to the ears and the cheeks with R20 and R000. Finally, I colored the star with Y11 and Y13 before die cutting them with the coordinating dies. Next, I created my background. I wanted it to be loose and not too structured, so I didn't mask off a firm top and bottom edge of my background. Instead, I taped my watercolor paper to my craft mat with post-it tape and started by applying a wash of clean water and a wide horizontal stripe near the top of the paper. Then I added a light wash of black soot distress ink with a flat brush. I let that soak in for a few seconds and then went back and added drops of black soot distress ink with a round paintbrush. There was no rhyme or reason to the pattern, I just wanted to add some dimension. And then I made a bit of an error by blotting it with the textured side of a paper towel. You can see that it leaves quite the distinct pattern on the paper. Thankfully, a little more blotting with a folded paper towel took care of the problem. Then I added more dots of black soot distress ink and let it dry without blotting. I smushed mustard seed, seedless preserves, salty ocean, and chipped sapphire distress ink on my palette and loosely watercolored spots of color across my black panel. I blotted them with a paper towel to soak up the extra ink and then added a final layer of black soot and let it dry. Once it was totally dry, I placed the paper in a box and masked off the white space with Post-it tape. Then I flicked black distress ink, white acrylic paint, and gold spray across the panel to give the impression of stars in the distance. I let it dry completely and then stamped the stars from W+9 Stardust onto the panel with Versamark and heat embossed them with white embossing powder. Then I stamped the sentiment from Little Dreamers onto black cardstock with Versamark and heat embossed it with silver embossing powder before trimming it down to a fishtail banner. I adhered the bunny and star with foam mounting tape and then tucked the sentiment in, also using foam mounting tape. Finally, I added sequins and tiny stars from the Lucy's Little Things Mermaid Mix and sparkling clear sequins from Pretty Pink Posh. And to finish my card, I added a little Spectrum Noir clear sparkle to the star and the bunny's cheeks. I allowed the bunny and the sequins to peek above the top and bottom of the watercolor background, which lends to the imperfect loose look. I hope I've inspired you to give a watercolor galaxy or night sky a try. It's definitely one of those backgrounds where you just have to trust that it's going to get better, because it really does look like a hot mess at the beginning. But if you give it a little time and a lot of layers, you end up with a really cool dimensional background. You can find links to my blog and all of the products I used in the YouTube description below. If you liked my video, please give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button so you won't miss any of my future videos. Thanks so much for watching. Have a fabulous day. Until next time, happy crafting.